Hi, this is Minesh Baxi, and welcome. I have a really good treat for you today. I have a good friend, Sree, who is going to share some of his wisdom, his business. And by the way, my name is Minesh Baxi. I was born in Agra, so obviously my accent is from India. I do speak fast, so hopefully you can understand my accent. And coincidentally, Sree is from India as well, so you'll have a double dose of Indian accent today. So Sree, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, I know your business is down the street. So one of the focus I have here is that I want to share ideas, accomplishments of people who are successful, who have something to give to the community. And you are obviously one of those people who has an interesting story. So one of the things we'll talk about today is obviously how did you transition from a job into being an entrepreneur? One of the things people are going to be interested in is how did you end up coming to US as well?
Indeed.
And the last point is, what do you do? What are your clients? Who are they in terms of the services you provide, the problem you solve for them? So some of the people watching can get an understanding of who you are and what you do. So let's just start with the simple part about it. Is you're married, you have 2 kids?
Yes, indeed.
Good. Tell me a little bit about your family, Sree.
Well, my wife is Madhu, and as you may know, the real meaning of it in translation, it is honey.
Correct.
So I'll be calling my wife honey every day, every minute.
You can't avoid it.
Can't avoid it. That's her nickname, of course. And my daughter Mayukha, she is 14. Can't wait to be 15 in 2 days.
Yeah,
8th
congratulations.
is her birthday.
Yeah.
And my son Amish, he is 9. He can't wait to be 10. They both are back to school this week, and we are a pretty joyful family we are at home.
Oh, you're a great family. I know I'm so lucky to have you as a friend, both for my children as well, because
Yes.
my daughter and your daughter, my son and your son, are also good friends together
Indeed, yes,
as well.
yes.
So let's talk a little bit about your journey from India to US. So how did you end up coming to US? Tell me a little bit about the stereotypical all Indians are either engineers or doctors, right? So
Yes.
tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it's pretty much this very similar story as to a lot of people came from outside the United States.
Sure.
Very interestingly, my case is I've come to United States as a H-1B worker.
Okay.
Many of audience may or may not know
Sure.
what is H-1B. It's in other words a simple temporary work permit.
Correct.
That is available for
Yes.
those who are wanted or interested to come into United States and offer their help to the companies down here.
Sure.
I flew with one suitcase. That's about it. Nothing else. In 1999, one simple suitcase with a few clothes, and flew down to Minneapolis. And there ends the destination is United States. That's about it.
And you ended up in the middle of cornfields in Iowa.
Indeed, that was my first project. Although the Minneapolis was my airport.
Yes.
But my work was in Iowa.
Okay.
Yes, I was under impression that I will be seeing the skyscrapers as I come. The largest skyscraper I see is the biggest corn cob.
Exactly.
The tallest corn cob was the largest skyscraper.
Now, for me, the first time I flew was actually from India to US.
Yeah.
That was my first flight. How about you? Had you flown in India before?
No.
The first flight
The very
is like
first flight is an international
transatlantic
flight. Transatlantic, indeed, yes.
So tell me a little bit about, obviously, you have an engineering background.
Yes.
And you are in computer programming field. So tell me a little bit about what, you were an employee, you came here. Mention a little bit about the kind of projects you were working on, a little bit of your background in engineering and computers.
Well, the engineering by study, I went to school in India for being electrical and electronics engineer. But at the time, in 1995, 96, in those days, the computers were just coming into the market where I came from.
Sure.
It's a second-graded city, right?
Yes.
Whereas in large metropolitan cities,
Sure.
they had computers at the time.
Correct.
So being a curious George, as an engineer, I wanted to tinker with the computers
Sure.
and started opening them, poking them around.
Correct.
But eventually, the logic to my mind as an engineer drawn towards the software
Correct.
more than towards the hardware.
Interesting.
Yes, and that's how I end up started learning what is a software, how to write a software, how to write a code, and all that. And all of a sudden, I became the consultant, IT consultant in the town. And I started teaching as well over there.
Yes.
And it gotten quite popularity
Okay.
with the logic that I was
Sure.
teaching, and I became a consultant. And eventually, I went to Bangalore, which is now called Silicon Valley of India.
Correct.
The company that I was working in Bangalore had an office here in Minneapolis,
Sure.
and they had a client in Iowa,
Sure.
which they needed help on their project. They say, "Hey, Sree, you want to go to America?" Well, why not?
Pretty
Let's go
interesting.
explore the world, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Even in India, I've never gone any other parts. No.
Interesting travel for you. So you became an entrepreneur. So in just short few seconds, just tell me what made you decide that, hey, instead of being an employee, I want to be an entrepreneur.
Very good question, Minesh. As you know,
Yes.
India is a lot more of a small businesses than of corporate employees.
Correct.
Culturally speaking.
Yes.
Right. And likewise, my father is a small business. He was a small business owner.
Yeah.
We had a very small fertilizer store, which was going up and downs.
Sure.
And I was helping him to
Okay.
bring that business back to stable.
Sure.
And by the time I'm done my engineering, the
Yes.
business went from zero to the second largest business in the town.
Wow.
So I and my dad, we grew the business tenfold in 4 or 5 years of span,
Sure.
which gave me a lot of business concepts.
Sure.
However, the culture and doing business in India to doing business in America is totally different.
It is.
But fundamentally, wanting to be an entrepreneur and be able to provide sustainable living for few people in my life has been always the dream. When I came United States as an employee, and I was consultant for one of the large corporations here in Michigan. I mean, right after Iowa, I came to Michigan.
Correct.
And I've noticed a lot of money is being thrown away and
Wow.
misused, which made basically a sick to my stomach.
Huh.
I felt this is not the right way. And also learned that small businesses always think that they need to have a deeper pockets to bring in technology into their business.
Correct.
So that made me think I want to prove that
Yes.
small businesses doesn't need to have a deeper pockets to use the technology at
Correct.
the time when I started the business 10 years ago.
Wow. That's
So,
amazing.
Having a desire to provide employment for few people and passion to help the small businesses to remove the myth that they have to have a deeper pockets to apply the technology, those two drove me to be an entrepreneur.
So your clients are small business owners. Give me a couple of problems. In short, give me a sense of what kind of problem do you solve for an entrepreneur, for a business owner?
Thank you. We look at the business cases.
Correct.
So what is a business problem? And what is the repeated tasks that are being done? And where you can use the data and apply the technology
Yes.
to provide a statistical analysis for the business owners to make a right business decision.
Sure.
Business decisions often in small, mid-sized companies are done with a gut feeling.
Yes.
As a business coach, you know it.
Exactly.
But that's not the right way to make a business decision.
Correct.
In order to have a justification for
Yes.
any business decision that they make,
Yes.
you need to have a proper data.
Yes.
And technology helps you gather that data.
Correct.
So, an example, one of my customers,
Yes.
they have a business process that somebody has to stand in front of the fax,
Yes.
continuously fax all day long.
Wow.
That is a full-time job.
Yeah.
And we end up writing software to fax using a phone line connecting to a computer. And now the computer is faxing opposed to a man or person standing in front of the fax machine and faxing.
So it's automation and obviously much better use of technology,
Yes.
time, manpower in terms of persons. Like it's a boring job to just be feeding facts into the machine
That is
for other
correct.
people. So obviously the business owner is happy because now they are getting something done in a much
Productive
more
done.
productive, efficient, effective manner as well.
I'm giving that as a simple example.
Oh
of
yeah,
a
I know there
small
are lots of
business case. There are
examples. You've done a
so
lot of
many
projects. I'm well aware of that. I know you talked about trucking industry, construction industry,
Indeed.
and so many other industries, etc. Just to wrap up, tell me a little bit about what is driving you right now. What kind of a dream do you have that you want to accomplish through your business, either for you, your family, people around you? Because now you employ more people than you did when you started alone.
Indeed, when I started, I was all by myself. I
Correct.
started from my bedroom in apartment
Yes,
with my own one single computer.
correct.
Now we are a team of 7 people, and we grown quite a lot in the last 10 years. And right now we are doing quite a large projects for one of the local trucking company. We are developing the whole software to run their entire business, the fleet management, inventory, and HR management. You name a corner of that business, they can run.
Correct.
The goal for that project is very simple. They are managing, let's say, 200 trucks
Yes.
with so many staff.
Yes.
By applying this technology with the same amount of manpower at the office, they should be able to run 800 trucks.
Wow.
So at least
Scalability.
scalability with the same infrastructure. So that is the whole idea of developing the software.
Good.
So my goal with this business is to be able to help small, mid-sized companies to grow and to be more efficient in this. I mean, the technology is there,
Yes.
and they need somebody to help them apply it correctly.
And your company, mention the name of the company, the location. So if somebody wants to learn more about your company, what do you do? So how would people get in touch with you, Sree?
The best thing is that they can call us.
Okay.
And
What is your number?
248-681-1283. And the
Okay.
company name is Unique Solutions of Advanced Technologies. We are right here in Royal Oak, 12 Mile and Stephenson Highway intersection, right across the Kroger.
Yeah, we are just 3 miles from your office right now.
Indeed, we are very close. Thank you very much for accommodating me to come here.
Well, you were generous enough to spend some time here with me. And here is what I know. I know you're a great person
Thank
as
you.
a human being. You have a great family, people I like to connect with. And everybody I talk to, like today I was sitting with Mike, one of your friends that we introduced, we talked.
That's right.
It's interesting. And he was just raving about what a wonderful guy you are. So whoever you come in touch with, they all feel that you're just somebody that they want to be around, somebody who's a decent human being that they feel being connected, somebody who respects them, cares about them.
Right.
So I'm really proud of you and knowing you as a friend. I know there are a lot of more lives going to be touched. People are going to be helped, both as employees,
Indeed.
family members, and also your clients that are there. So thanks again for your time today, and I look forward to continuing our relationship.
Thank you very much, Minesh.